From the Opelka Studios in Oklahoma City, this is OSU Football with Brandon Chatmon. I'm Jenni Carlson. Brandon, in a year that pundits in the preseason said Oklahoma State might finish last in the Big 12, I don't know if anybody predicted that they'd have two major award winners, which they did last week. Blitnikoff won by Justin Blackmon, the Groza won by Dan Bailey. Big time wins for both these guys. The Blitnikoff, though, not really a surprise, was it?
No, the Blitnikoff wasn't a huge surprise. I mean, the other guy in the conversation for most people was obviously Oklahoma's Ryan Broyles. Those two guys were clearly, it seemed like, the two best receivers in the nation. And when Justin Blackmon was named the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, not only by the coaches but the AP as well, you could kind of see that, hey, maybe Justin Blackmon is going to be the choice for the Blitnikoff. And just looking at what he was able to do, just how consistent he was this year, I mean, it was pretty clear who the best receiver was.
Dan Bailey then winning the Lou Groza to the top place kicker in the country. He obviously had a great highlight to start with that A&M game and the game-winning kick. That was a pretty nice award for him, too, because he's a guy that, you know, he wasn't really, he was sort of a kicker without a school there for a while. Now here he is winning this top prize.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be the ideal senior year for Dan Bailey. I mean, he becomes the all-time leading scorer for the Cowboys. He wins the Lou Groza Award. He has a game-winning kick. He has several outstanding games, and he only had one missed PAT his entire career, and that was a blocked PAT. So the guy was extremely consistent, and he capped it off with a great senior year. And I think a big reason why he was able to get that Groza Award was, like you say, he hit the game-winning kick against Texas A&M on national TV on ESPN on a Thursday night, and then on a Friday night he hits two 52-yard field goals down in Louisiana on ESPN again. So clearly national people got to see Dan Bailey in action.
Lastly, the Heisman did not include an Oklahoma State player this year, but Justin Blackmon finishes 5th in the voting, which means he's just outside the group of finalists that get invited to New York. With his Blitnikoff win, we don't know if he's coming back, but with that and how he finished in the Heisman, if he comes back next year, do you see him as a preseason guy being talked about for the Heisman?
I think the potential is definitely there. You'd think that now that his name is definitely out there as one of the top players in the nation, one of the top players in college football, he definitely should get a look. But if you look at what he did this year, it's going to be hard to match those numbers. I mean, just the sheer consistency, the over 100 yards in 11 and a touchdown in 11 games. I mean, it's going to be really, really difficult to match that. But the fact that he's on the national radar before the season begins should be able to help him a little bit.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.